Hey, Geocache Talk Network fans. If you love what we do and want to support the shows, we've got two great ways to help keep the adventure going. You can join us on Patreon at patreon.com/geocachetalk for exclusive perks. Or if you prefer a one-time boost, buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/geocachetalknetwork. Every bit of support helps us bring you more geocaching fun, stories, and shows. So whether it's a membership or a coffee, we appreciate you being part of making the Geocache Talk Network operate. Thanks, and happy caching.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine write-in-the-rain paper. The logbook's designed for the micro-containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
Calling all geocachers. At artedcrafted.com, we create unique apparel designed by geocachers for geocachers. From custom t-shirts to personalized mugs, our gear lets you express your passion. Stand out at your next event with artedcrafted.com. artedcrafted.com. Gear up for your next geocaching adventure.
Hello, and welcome to Gadget Talk on the Geocache Talk Network. I'm John, the Pizza Ninja, and with me is my friend Chad from his evil gadget lair.
Yes.
How are you doing,
empty
Chad?
Lair. Good. My empty lair with the echo.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chad, do people know where you are and what magic's going to happen there?
Top secret. Top secret. Actually, my wife says I need to put a cache out front and then let people know if I'm here that they can come and tour the shop.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, so possibly. We'll see. So, yep.
That would be awesome. Well, we got some of our like amazing all-star geocaching gadget like friends with us today. So just to bring them in, we got Bellonthemove joining us tonight. We got Mike Two Taps on here as well too, and we got Jason Justduckingaround. And I think on here, Chad, we got some cool people joining us today. We have Family Bell on here, so that's cool. Thank you, Family Bell, including Mrs. Bellonthemove. Thank you for joining us. We got Judy Von Math Seeker. Hello, Judy. Lori, who, guys, I've had pickle pizza with Lori before, Lori Seaback Tribe, and it was awesome. Buzz82, we got joining us tonight too. Burnt Turtles. Nesmuck got cash, which is always a question I tend to ask myself. Jason and Mary Lee, Angel Bandit. Mr. Rick Dorsey, man, where Rick and I had pizza before a while back. So howdy from Rhode Island. Hugh McLeod joining us from beautiful British Columbia. And who else do we got? We even have Tricashus. And guys, I just said his name once. We know what happens if we say his name 3 times. Yeah. Just saying. So thank you, sir, for joining us tonight on here. And it looks like Chad that Judy, and Judy's like an amazing puzzle solver. She says Chad got moved.
Yes, unfortunately, no more old shop. What you saw before will never be seen again.
Wow. So last show was the last time we'll ever see that.
Yes. Yep. So now this is the new one, which is a little bit bigger than the last layer. And yeah, I'm excited to get stuff moved. I have some stuff moved in. Can't see it from the single of the camera, but it took up a whole wall on my other shop, and it barely takes up anything over here. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I gotta admit, Chad, I'm kind of surprised that you don't have like AI powered robots carrying and moving stuff in behind you. For some reason, I thought you would. Just saying.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
maybe someday.
I'm sure. So Chad, what are we talking about tonight?
Okay, so tonight we're talking. Well, if you watched last episode, we are challenged tonight was thrift store builds or secondhand builds for gadgets. And we talked to people about building concepts and coming on and showing their concepts off, as well as we have some people who have a complete build that we're going to show. But before we get to that, last month, Andrew and myself got to go to California to the Maker Faire and represent some geocaching there and show off some gadgets. And we had a lot of fun. So wanted to have a chance just to talk about our experience there and Andrew's time there. And I appreciate you coming out, Andrew, and helping out with that. That was great. Your gadgets, people love them. His gadgets, it's one of those things. I talk about this all the time. I have these high-tech electronic gadgets and stuff, and they're great to me, but everybody, there's just those homemade things that like Andrew builds. People love these things, and they just get memorized by them. So,
and I was going to say, like him building like a cache, a lightsaber cache, right?
Yeah, he had that lightsaber mouse trap there. And that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Andrew, you want to talk about your experience a little bit?
Yeah, Maker Faire was awesome. I've got my apron on here that I got for going, and we got free shirts. But yeah, Maker Faire is they call it the world's biggest show and tell, and that's what it is. It instead of like other craft fairs and festivals you might have gone to, people aren't trying to sell you stuff. Everyone's just showing off all the cool stuff they build, and it was an absolute blast. This is something I built at the Crunch Labs booth. You got to pour resin into a little cup and then add a bunch of circuit board pieces, and we made fidget spinners, and everything there was hands-on and lots of fun.
That's amazing. Yeah, we had we did get Editor's Choice Award for our booth.
I was going to say, I think we have a picture on this one too.
Yeah. Yes. Thanks to Andrew for that. Our booth was busy. I don't think we had much downtime at all. We had to make some time to relieve each other to be able to go and, you can't be a maker and go to a Maker Faire and not look around at other stuff. So, but we had a lot of fun. Andrew and his family showed up. Me and my wife was there, so we were able to cover each other and spend some time there. And unfortunately, we were put next to the X-Tool, I can't even say this right, X-Tool booth. And boy, I've been looking at some X-Tool stuff, and so that was a mistake. But I've actually been on a couple email chains with the rep from there. So
I was going to say, you got space now, Chad. So I mean, like,
lots of space.
They got your email. It's all over. It's all over. They're on your email list.
Well, they emailed me, but he calls me now too. So he actually just called me a couple hours ago asking me, "What do you think? Thought any more about the tool?" Oh, I think about it all the time.
Maybe he could sponsor the show.
Yeah.
Ooh, X-Tool sponsored, or Gadget Talk sponsored by X-Tool. That kind of has a ring to it.
That'd be nice. There's UV Printing Company that's talking about it too. So,
wow.
We'll see. But we had a lot of fun. Back to the event. It was a blast. So, we talked to people like Andrew was telling earlier that doesn't know anything about geocaching. So we had to explain to them what geocaching was and what gadget caches were, and it was a lot of fun.
We had to explain to them that these aren't what you typically find, but these are some of the better finds.
Yeah, exactly. Look for stuff with favorite points, larger containers to find these. It was a blast.
That is so cool, man. That is so cool. And seeing your pictures, I mean, it just looked amazing. All the different exhibits that they had, to check out. I mean, I just have to imagine, like, you walked away from that and you probably had like a ton of ideas of things to do, right?
Oh, well, we were right. And then right to the right of us, literally 4 feet away, was the booth where they did the alien, the xenomorph, the robotic one, and then also the hand from Wednesday.
Oh my God.
That walks around. That's so it's kind of cool because they actually had that on a skateboard going around and moving, and it was pretty cool watching those. I mean, everybody there. I mean, there's so many creative booths there. There was a math booth next to us that 3D printed stuff for math problems, and you can get some really good ideas from them for some gadgets too. So it was a blast. I had a lot of fun, a lot of good ideas.
At the store there, they just sell like circuit board kits and fun do-it-yourself kits for kids. And it's just, to inspire people to be creative and have fun and build stuff and use their hands. So
yeah, I bought a bunch of breadboards. I was like, man, can't pass these up. I don't need any more, but I'm going to buy some because they're affordable.
They don't go moldy.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that was a blast. So Andrew, again, thank you for joining me down there and making it a great time out there and educating people on geocaching. And also thanks to HQ, they sent us 200 free membership trials to give out to people. So that helps out a lot as well. But anyway, any questions about the Maker Faire? Anybody else want to ask anything before we move on?
Yeah, just checking the chat. I don't see any questions from anybody, but if anybody has any questions in the chat, please, put them in there, and we'll make sure, the evil gadget geniuses address them. And again, not to say Chad has a gadget layer, but Chad, can I show this view that you have from your house?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Exhibit 2, Chad could be living at an evil gadget layer right there. For audio listeners, Chad, how would you describe this view?
Well, it was warm today. It was a nice day, so you could see it. But we're in Seattle, you normally can't see it too often. But no, I mean, it's great. I love seeing it. I've always been able to see it from where I've lived, but not this close. So I'm only about, I think, 45 minutes from Paradise, which is where the highest you can drive before you actually start to summit or hike up to summit the mountain.
Yeah, and that's Mount Rainier, right?
Yes, Mount Rainier.
Oh, very cool. Okay,
it's a blast.
Sorry, Chad. I don't keep on trying to paint you're in an evil gadget layer, but it's giving some vibes. I'll just say that.
I've been debating, do I need to paint the walls or leave them wood? I'm not sure. But everybody's like, you got to leave it wood, is manly, but I don't know.
You could just do video walls all around you and do a fully immersive video environment, or get a projector and project some stuff.
Projection mapping, direct view LED.
Yeah, I mean, could be cool.
I've considered building rooms for the different pieces of equipment. I'll have to figure it all out. So finish moving in on Friday, get everything in here, and then hopefully by next show I'll have it all set up.
Awesome.
So
if you put a cache outside, have everyone sign your wall. Make that your logbook.
Ooh, well, that's a good idea. Well, so we talked. I have a friend up here that has a cache out front of his house and is a picnic table, and you have to carve your name into the picnic table to log it, the cache. And my wife loved that and thought that'd be a good idea to do something like that. But so yeah, we could.
That would be cool. And Burnt Turtles has a suggestion. He says a topo wall, a matrix wall.
I'll have to do some research on different walls. Yeah, I don't know. Lots to do.
Yeah, you're just making it harder for us, Chad. When you walk away or walk in your shop and we're like, guess what tool Chad doesn't have?
You got to zoom in. You got to zoom on the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be harder to see because I don't know where to put, when I put stuff up, it's going to be, further away. But let's jump over to Andrew on this secondhand build. If you don't mind, Andrew, you want to tell us about your build?
Sounds good. Do we want to show off finds or builds first?
You want to show off what?
Finds or the completed build first?
You talking about your concepts?
Yeah, you want concepts or we want completed?
Yeah, your concepts first, please.
Okay, cool. So thrift store find. This was a thrift store find for a couple of bucks. Lots of possibilities here. It's got a cool instruction book inside that teaches you how to build a circuit and different possibilities to use all the pieces. So here's what it looks like. And just an idea for lots of different possibilities. There's comes with a speaker, lights, LEDs, lots of options. So yeah, just an idea for so many things. I guess you could include this into to complete a circuit to turn on something on a gadget cache, or give people a map and they have to build the circuit to get the code. So just a really cool thing I found that has a lot of possibilities there.
And I don't know if you mentioned this, these are called snap circuits. I love these things. These things are great.
Oh yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff you can do with them, and that's a great find out there.
Takes me back to the old Radio Shack ones. It had the springs and the little resistors you put into the springs to make it. It's so much easier, so much more fun for kids.
Yeah, I like the idea of having to build something, have a diagram, and complete that same build design to get a code or a lock or something like that. Yeah, be cool.
Another find I have here. Found a little Star Wars board game here. So I was like, well, let's check out and see what kind of pieces are actually in that. And in addition to the play surface that you could, take a chunk of that off and put it inside your birdhouse and use that just as decoration, there's a whole bunch of cards in here with different characters, and they all have numbers on them. So I thought, oh, that could be a cool thing. Use those numbers for your, combination or whatever, and make a little game out of that for your gadget cache. And you've got everything pre-printed, ready to go.
Oh, that's great. So you could actually have them look for a certain character to get a digit, almost like what you did for your claw machine at the event.
Yeah, something like that.
I was going to say that is awesome, because just that whole Star Wars theme, I would give it a favorite point just for the Star Wars theme alone. Just saying.
And then this was a really cool pack. This was just a bunch of fabric samples that are different Star Wars fabrics. So I was thinking any of these would be great to put on the inside of a birdhouse, maybe staple it on and then just Mod Podge like crazy over it to make it waterproof, and instant wallpaper decoration to put inside the birdhouse.
Another great idea. That's awesome.
And even if you didn't find it at a thrift store, right, every fabric store out there has a ton of fabric that I'm sure you could staple onto something and Mod Podge and instant themed cache, right, for a little effort.
Yeah, Mod Podge, we've talked about it a lot in the past. That works great for covering up paper, making it waterproof to the sides of stuff, to have stuff stick on it. That's a really good idea to use that.
And then my other inspiration find, this will probably be the next thing I build, but this is a kind of like the old fishing game, but it's Toy Story themed. And you've got all the little alien guys here. I'll turn this on. So you got all the little alien characters from Toy Story in this fishing game. And so I thought, kind of like my claw machine where you reach in and grab, I can put the combination on the bottom of these guys. And I don't know how I would do it with the reset though, because there's going to have to be like a door or something on the side that gives you access to the container maybe, and to be able to reset the guys. But I thought that could be fun. And then I found a metal lunchbox at the thrift store as well. It's about the same width. So if I build this into a birdhouse, the combination can have you open up a drawer underneath and you pull out the lunchbox, and that's your cache container.
Very cool.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, I like that aliens one popping up.
I just did one similar to that with using the exact same thing as my inspiration to do a fishing game with some little magnetic pegs. So you pull them up and the numbers on the bottom. So,
yeah, the reset's interesting though. That's going to take some thought, I guess, to figure out how to make that happen, because if these guys just kind of fall wherever, the game's not going to work.
Or they go missing. Someone thinks, "Ooh, look at this swag," and they take the key combination alien.
Yeah, I made a fishing one where in the mouth of the fish was a bison, and I have about 20 fish in a container, and only one has a log. So you got to fish for them until you find the one with the log in it. I would show it to you, but it's packed. So maybe next week if I remember.
All right, and one more thing before we get to my my build that was from an actual thrift store item. But these are just VHS tapes. They sell them for like $0.25 each at the thrift store at Goodwill, and you can cut off that cover and Mod Podge it and put it on the inside of any birdhouse, and you've got awesome themed decoration.
Well, that's really cool. I wonder if you could use the VHS tape for a log.
Yeah.
For you to write on, use a silver Sharpie or something to write on the tape.
That'd be cool.
That would be fun. I've never found one like that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right, and then here's my completed build. So this here, I saw this trash can at the thrift shop and said, that looks like something. What does that look like? So you can see it's got the flip top on the trash can here. And I turned it over. And I was like, that's just too perfect. That has to become an R2.
That is awesome.
How do you get into that?
So this has got buttons on the front here. And then it's got, of course, the secret button that nobody finds on the back. And you push all 3 buttons to complete the circuit, and the log pops out the top of his head, just like him blowing his top and getting really frustrated, I guess, huh? It's got and then you got your log container right there, and this unscrews.
So are you using like a 6-volt or 12-volt latch?
Yeah, it's got the latch in there with the fire release.
That's great.
That
what a
is
great
awesome.
find. That looks like a Minion R2.
It's mini R2, huh?
like are you saying, Chad, if R2 and a Minion had a baby, that's like what it would look like? Okay.
That's what it looks like to me. But this is me. I love it.
You need a little more yellow and
That is awesome. That is just so cool.
But pretty simple trash can. This is a fence post cap here for his eye. I put a bunch of plumber's tape all over, or the blue painter's tape all over it to get my lines on there. And actually, when I started peeling off the tape, it started to chip off. So I went with it, and I said, well, he's now incredibly distressed in age. So it worked out real well.
Great weathering.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
great, Andrew. Those are all great builds and good finds.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Now we all got to make it out to Reno.
Yeah.
In Reno, port Jason before the show. Because Jason, what did you say before the show? Like, when were you in Reno?
I went to Reno 1 month before him for a work trip, and there were no gadget caches out there.
Well, now anyone coming through the Reno airport, my gadgets are probably 15 minutes from the airport. I've got 5 or 6 of them out. So
that is awesome.
Great. Well, thanks, Andrew. Really appreciate you showing that stuff off. Are you going to be able to do some stuff for the next show on the other finds that you did?
Oh man, I hope to. After Maker Faire, my daughter said, "I've played with everything you've built already. You need to build some new stuff so I can play with it."
Nice. I love it. Well, that's great, Andrew. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Mike.
All right. So I procrastinated, but I did find a good bounty of things. So some of the things I found, first off, this is a great find for me, is a real estate lockbox for $8. Usually goes, I think, for $20 online. I had to hack the code, which was 1776, but that's just a great all-around cache container for a micro or the end of a puzzle. So that was an awesome find. I've been meaning to get one. I also found a bag of random tiny billiard balls. So I have an entire set of billiard balls and 1 soccer ball. Don't know what I can do with this yet, but the numbers on there leave for some excellent possibilities as far as puzzles or combinations to unlock a container. So I've got those sitting on my desk waiting for divine inspiration to strike. Something a little outside of a thrift store, but in a clearance section, was this battery. But it's not a battery. It's actually a tiny little stash container. So perfect bison-sized container that looks like a AA battery and is exactly the same size as a AA battery, leading for some ingenious hides that may or may not get thrown away as a bad battery if I build them into a gadget. But I've already cooked up some ideas of kind of creating a busy box and having real batteries hidden and the fake batteries out in the open. And you finally get inside the box, and where's the log? Oh, the log is actually the fake battery on the top that you assumed was fine because all the other gadget pieces worked. But as Jason pointed out, I'm just as likely to have someone throw the battery away thinking it was bad, and that's why they couldn't find the log. So got to be careful, but that was a really cool find for a couple of pennies in the clearance section. The last thing I found, I was trying to think of an idea to do with it. It's such a cool little widget. And it wasn't until about 20 minutes ago when I first saw Bell's Snap Kit that I figured out what I could do with this. So it's hard to see because it's spinning. It is an LED desktop fan that'll display messages. I was like, what can I do with this? I can display any kind of text I want on the screen, this nice little swivel neck. Well, how can I make it more fun than just plugging in a fan and waiting for it to torture you with generic text before it gives the combination? And that's when it struck me, the snap circuits. If I use snap circuits or just an approximation of those, I could have this be the payoff to the puzzle. So once you finally solve the circuit or built the circuit, the fan turns on to let you know you were successful, and it'll display the combination or the unlock on the fan blades. So that was a concept that just happened 20 minutes ago because we got together and talked. So kudos to all of us.
Yeah.
And that's
man,
the
that would
point
be
of
awesome.
the podcast, right?
Absolutely. And then the biggest challenge was finding a computer that would still read a CD. I spent 2 days trying to find a computer that could read the disc to find a little tiny software program that lets you actually program the fancy fan blades.
Oh man,
That's why it was $2.99.
Exactly.
I was going to say that's like a gadget cache to build a gadget cache right there.
And one last thing before I move on to my concept, I actually found an upgrade. So a while ago, I built a light bright cache that's backlit and it lights up and it'll actually show you the code once it's backlit. But the light was not that great. And these are actually also all thrifted light bright pegs. And that's my artwork. I call that geocache in the fall. But I found a spool of RGB lights. Great for any kind of maker project. But these will work great. I actually went as far as to design, can't find it on my desk right now, design some little clips that I can flip to the back and give this thing a nice proper backlight using the lights to shine through. So it'll be more visible in all light conditions and not just exclusively a night cache. Because believe it or not, people kept trying to find it at noon and the lights weren't bright enough to see the code. So
No, that's really
those
cool.
are my finds and my concepts. Now I did get 2 finished products out of this. The first utilized these. So I found a little bag hanging on a shelf and it had these miniature bowling sets in it. So it's 10 plastic pins and a big fat marble, and you set them up and you give it a flick and you get a strike. So that was too tempting to pass up. So I designed this, and this of course fits into an ammo can because I'm predictable. And when you pick up the pin set here, you have a miniature bowling alley and you get your strike. And you'll notice the only 2 pins that stand up, it's a 7-10 split, or 7-1-0, which would be the combination to open the lock.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That is really
cool. And then
cool.
you can use the lid to put the pins back in and reset it without aggravating yourself to no end.
That is awesome.
That's really cool.
So that was a fun one. I couldn't pass up on those pins. There was 3 of them. I opened one of the 2 packs. I still have 2. And these are available on Amazon. I know that's not a thrift, but they still could be purchased if anybody wants to take the idea and run with it. The other idea I built is a little simpler. It involves this. This is a Scrabble set. The Scrabble set from 1953. So I was really surprised by how old it was. It cost me $2. It's complete except for the letter X, which was a different frustrating point. And it taught me something. So this is a modern Scrabble piece. This is a Scrabble piece from 1953. You know what the difference is? 0.10 millimeters thickness. And that'll come into play in just a second. So here's the lid that fits into the other gadget can. And you can see it looks like a crossword puzzle. You can see, kind of see where I'm going with this. Here is a little container that contains your tiles to solve the puzzle. And when I measured using a modern piece, which was far bigger than this piece, and my tight little fit wasn't perfect. I also foolishly used the modern piece, or the old piece, to measure this, and it doesn't quite fit the same. So the classic pieces fit in there nice and snug, but the modern pieces fall out. So I have to learn a lot about
different size.
They're ever so slightly a different size. And I'm guessing the difference is these were cut by someone in the factory in 1950, and these were cut by a machine somewhere in the early 2000s.
Cost savings.
So, slightly different precision. But anyway, that's my esoteric knowledge about Scrabble tiles that I didn't ever think I'd learn. But this one's a fairly simple puzzle. So in the cache description, you'll have your clues, like any good crossword puzzle. And you'll go and you'll solve the question, filling in your letters. And of course, since it's Scrabble tiles, whatever that word total is the number, which will be the combination to, of course, open the combination lock. And this one's great because, again, I went crazy and 3D printed in 3 colors and engraved letters and made a little letter box and did all this crazy stuff. But anyone could go to the thrift store, spend $2 on an old Scrabble game, reuse those tiles, reuse this concept, like Andrew was saying, and just use some cardboard and put it into a lock and lock container with a locked log box, and you've recreated this gadget on the cheap, easily, without the need for 3D printing knowledge or anything overly fancy than just your own wits and a Scrabble dictionary.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So those are my concepts and my builds from this, and I'm always hitting the thrift store. It's such a great resource. Even if you're not trying to build a gadget cache, I was there just looking around. They have lock and lock containers for $1 a piece sitting on the shelf that are, they're well loved, but they're going to hide in the woods, so you don't want to waste a new one. They have an entire wall of these bags at my local thrift store that hold all these kind of wonderful little trinkets and toys that, while you can use them for a gadget, they also make excellent swag. A bag full of Hot Wheels toys or weird old McDonald's gift toys, things that you wouldn't keep, but for $3, you get a sack of things that are fantastic to restock a geocache for some swag that the kids will love. And again, you're not breaking the bank, and you're, helping the environment by not buying new plastic things to put into the woods. You're using the ones that already exist. So that's my reducing waste spiel.
Well, that's super cool finds. Those are great finds.
A thrift store is a great place. I have an entire line of gadgets and puzzles that are all just based off board games, and most of them are from thrift store. Buy an old copy of Battleship, buy an old Light Bright, and get all these little bits and pieces that, again, you could buy separately, but they're waiting for just a couple dollars at your local thrift shop.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you, I love stuff like that. Oh, sorry, Ken.
Go ahead, John.
No, I was going to say, I love stuff like that because, just like that cool nostalgia factor, thinking like already like going caching. And for people, and we're all part of the gadget crowd. We're all part of the quality cache crowd. But that difference when you find something that's just a very basic container versus something that's so well themed, so put together, has that nostalgia factor. Because like just handing out like in my mind, I'm thinking favorite points. When like Andrew's like Star Wars, I'm like favorite point. And same thing like when you're talking about like games, I'm just thinking like, yeah, Scrabble favorite point, like right away, like bowling favorite point. Like all of those are just so incredibly fun.
Well, and I like the ideas that you have just to come up with like the 7-10 split for the code. How do you make this work for a cache? That thought process is amazing. Taking your tiles for your Scrabble and actually measuring them to realize, hey, these dimensionally are different sizes. Oh, are you muted there?
Hey, Mike. Yeah, you're muted, Mike.
Sorry, I whacked my mic.
Oh, you're good now.
Yeah. That drove me nuts. I had the new tiles nearby, so I'm like, oh, I'll just measure off these. I'm not going to walk all the way downstairs. And sure enough, they're 1/10 of a millimeter smaller or bigger in all the wrong dimensions.
No, that's great. I love it. Okay, and I guess we move on to Jason. Now, Jason has some concepts as well as a complete build for us.
Yeah, so I got a couple concepts I found. I went to a ton of thrift stores. I didn't find anything I really love, but this is an apple peeler. I love building mechanical caches, so this is just a giant gear that I could build something out of that get something moving way 6 inches away. Something kind of cool to be mechanical and get something moving. And then the other thing I found was a big postage scale. So it's a 50-pound postage scale with a big dial that it's got a big spring in it that I figured maybe I could give them a couple items. They could weigh it. Otherwise, there's this huge table in here as well that has numbers you can correlate for. You weigh something, you get a poundage or a weight, and then the number of items or something, and it correlates to something in this huge table. So this came from an old USPS, I guess, but something cool. Only concern I would have is just the spring holding up over a while being outside. I don't think the spring steel was ever meant to be outside.
That's great.
But then the thrift store finds, I don't know, they weren't really inspiring me. So I went in my backyard and I had a old tractor lying there. So I love building caches out of stuff that no one would ever expect a cache to be built out of. So John, I know you have the picture of the tractor, but
yeah, I'll pull it up and just walk us through.
Yeah, I bought this for $5 at an old estate sale. I've built caches out of it already. The old fenders, I built into a container that slides over the top of a birdhouse just to make it waterproof. The hood I welded into a maple syrup evaporator. So it's gotten a lot of use. But the one thing I hadn't used yet is the transaxle, the transmission, the rear end of it. So John's got a picture of that as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, what picture do you want next? You want the
Yeah, that one. So
okay,
that's the axle that comes out of the tractor. So I had no idea what was going to be inside of this when I opened it up. Every one is different. So this was an old 5-speed transmission. I was expecting some kind of gear that I could switch from forward to reverse, build something out of. That's not at all what I got out of this, but the next picture I believe you have, John. So this is the inside of it. There's all the gears inside. It's got 2 shafts, 10 gears a piece, or 10 gears total, 5 a piece, and they all spin together. So the shaft, while you're driving the tractor, you would shift between the gears to get different speeds. So it's super. I mean, they're all steel gears. They all have the same pitch diameter. I mean, you can build a fun gear puzzle out of these. They're all metal. They're going to last forever. They're hardened, so they're not really going to rust, and you can get a corrosion inhibitor or even paint them. But you can build a gear puzzle. They all line up. So if you put cogs on a board, how do you get to the final piece? That was my first thought of doing something like this. There's plenty of gears in that transmission to do something like that. But I just already have that cache out there, so I didn't want to redo one I had already had. So wanted to do something a little different. So in that picture, I took the upper shaft, so it has a whole gear selection mechanism. So yeah, that's very dirty, but I got it cleaned up pretty well. So this is my full build, and there's a video that you have. Yeah, so this is that actual top mechanism. So this is all cleaned up. It's got the 5 gears. So that wheel is from an old lathe that I found on Facebook. Someone was parting it out, and I asked how much for the wheel. They just gave it to me. And then, so you can, that little collet that's right to the right of the black wheel, you slide that in and out and you can select a gear. So I basically have the ability to give a cacher a fun interactive experience, but you select a gear at a time. But the challenge there became this transmission wasn't designed to do that. All 5 of these gears are meant to spin as one unit. So I had to develop a brake mechanism that basically you could bolt on to the gears and basically slow them down so only one spins at a time. So that was the challenging aspect of this one, of actually getting it super reliable to the point where only one of those wheels spins, no matter what wheel you spin, how fast you spin it, which direction you spin it, which gear you shift to, because anyone has access to shift from gear 1 to 5 immediately. So John, you have the video of the gear shifting as well.
Let me go ahead. So I'll play the video, guys. When I play the video, our mics will be muted. So we'll go through and we'll listen to the video right now.
So this video shows the shift selector mechanism. This collar moves these long fingers inside the groove in the shaft, and then it pulls it into the grooves in the gear. So that's the middle gear, and then you push it in and out and it selects the next gears.
So I basically now have the ability to move any 5 gears at one time, give you a fun way to interact with the cache. It's super reliable, but then I was trying to figure out a concept for that. And I thought of like one of those old bank vaults that has the big wheel, a bunch of things turning on that. So I made basically, it's a big 5-gear system that John's got some better close-up pictures because it's hard to see.
Let me show one of the close-ups right there.
So all those big 3D printed gears bolt onto the top of that gear mechanism. That's to the left of that picture. And each of the tractor gears that you select spins one of those colored gears. So they all have phrases, they all have codes, they have numbers. And your job is to align the holes in each of those discs and figure out the code, figure out the puzzle. So you have the ability to shift, and you're always spinning between those colored gears and getting them to move, getting them to change, and reading the different phrases, different things. So it's pretty interactive. I've had a couple people beta test it, and some people were challenged by it, some people weren't. Which I mean, that's every gadget cache. Some people are going to get it really easy, some people aren't. But then, so now it's the whole bank vault theme. So I couldn't build a container out of, I normally build them out of Trex or some sort of like material like that that's waterproof. It needed to be metal. So we had our washing machine break a couple of months ago, and it's just been sitting downstairs. So I took the metal from the washing machine. That was the picture John popped up really quick. But the whole outside I reused out of a washing machine and just cut it and welded it up, because bank vault can't be wood, can't be any. I mean, it had to fit the theme. So the whole outside container is made out of that washing machine right there. So I used about half a washing machine to build it, and then I decided I wanted to change the concept and use the other half to finish it. So I've used a full washing machine for this box, and kind of I welded up its own little safety deposit box on the left side there where the cache would be. And the one issue is because of the acrylic in there. So also the acrylic came from an old fish tank I had lying around. I've built a couple things out of that too. Just trying to reuse a bunch of old stuff. But so you're trying to align the gears in those, or the circles in those 5 colored wheels. It can be difficult to see inside. So I had to get that little gooseneck light so you can kind of see in, and it kind of gives you like a vault pick tool. So I got to do the tool needed attribute or something fun like that. give you a little more interaction where you can move that light so you can see all the codes very easily, and basically interact with the cache. So, I mean, this is the cache fully built. We got the lockbox on this side, just a big welded metal safety deposit box, basically. And then the whole outer container is that washing machine. So the whole thing lifts off pretty easy. And then, well, it won't do that for real, but you have the whole inner mechanism where you can select a gear. And then, so this is first gear, you have the blue gear spinning. Second gear, I have the red gear spinning. Third gear, yellow, so on and so forth. And I can keep shifting forward and back. It's super durable. And if I go into first gear, you can start to see, so there's a hole there that you have to start lining up. So these are some old discs that I started creating at first. So they all have holes. They all have some sort of code on them that's basically the puzzle, is where hidden in these 5 layers is the right combination. So you gotta work and figure it out. But it's a bunch of, I mean, it's not really nothing I found from a thrift store in here, but it's all secondhand parts. The wheels from an old lathe, the acrylic was from a fish tank, all the metal, as much metal as I could, I took from that washing machine. So like this angle iron is from the base of it that actually holds the drum. All the sheet metal is from the outside of it. But then I also, like, all of this is modular and stuff. So that's everything's bolted to the acrylic. But to make it really durable, everyone, when they first get up to it, it's going to be like, how do I shift gears? They're going to start pulling on the wheel. So to make it really durable, it's all welded in the back. It's all secured. So it's all held in together. But it's a fun little concept. I'm able to decorate the bottoms. I have some gold bars down in there. I tried buying some, my one Amazon purchase for this was going to be some fake diamonds, but they came in about like microscopic size. So I was going to fill the bottom with some fake diamonds, but those didn't work out. They're getting returned. So just a fun mechanical concept that, I mean, it's probably the most indestructible cache I've built so far, but just something fun that people can play with. And the gear selection change mechanism is very, just, I don't know, it's just fun to do. It's going to be a fun user experience, I think.
I mean, that looks like fun cache to find. I would love to find that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is almost better than a secondhand store find. It's go in my backyard and see what I can find to build a cache.
Yeah, I don't think many people are building them out of tractors, but I wanted to do something a little different. I didn't want to come on and have someone do the same thing. It's got to be a little different.
Well, I love that, because so many people, you just think of all those opportunities, like from the secondhand stores to like a tractor, and how many people would think about like reutilizing a tractor. And Jason, you said from that, like you like utilize that tractor in how many different caches now? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's probably up to 2 or 3 caches right now, not including this one, just of components. I mean,
a lot of caches for $5.
Yeah. No one wanted a bid on it, and then I was like, I'll just spend $5. Why not? And I'll just use it for the metal. But like those fenders, I just welded them together, and it perfectly slides over a cache that I made that I didn't like. I didn't want all the plastic that was I 3D printed to be exposed to the elements and stuff. So it's a perfect metal container that slides over the top. So yeah, that tractor got a lot of use so far. It's not really looking like one anymore, though.
We got a comment from Hugh who says that's great, and then Buzz82 says, I have a dead tractor in my backyard.
Oh, I mean, it seems super impractical, but I go on Facebook and people are giving away blown up tractors for free on Marketplace all the time. So it's something that, at least in my area, is readily available.
Yeah. Well, and I love the lathe, like that handle, and they just give it to
it
you
looks
for free,
just like
right?
a ball wheel.
Yeah. And I just love the tactile element of that one. Just that wheel and just like the sound of shifting gears on that one too.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear it through my headset, but it does have an audible click. So these, I put washers in between all the gears. So that's what that gear in that video, that gear selection mechanism, to be able to give you like that audible click, that feel, that tactile feel. So you actually know when you're in a new gear. I put washer. So you're clicking over the washer, and then you're going in the gear.
Yeah, I love that design.
Awesome.
Love that design. And then you were telling us before the show, because I was like, and let me pull up the media asset again too on the gears, because I was like taking a look at those, and oh man, those look like well-used gears. Like how did you clean those gears?
Yeah, just a can of brake clean.
Yeah.
Probably 2 or 3 cans of brake clean, to be honest. But I mean, it came with. I still have gears that I can use in anything. Like this is a very cool bevel gear that I can get 90-degree rotation out of something.
Yeah.
I still have these 5 gears that I haven't done anything with out of that tractor. They're all splined to the same shaft. So I can do something fun with this one where this one I can't get them to individually rotate, but maybe I have 5 different things rotating, 5 different like marble mazes or something where you have to do one at a time, but all other ones are going. There's a million different things that I could build out, even out of the components I didn't use. It came with, like in that picture, I got all these chain and sprocket gears that came out of there. Because they're all out of the same thing, all of them line up, all of their the teeth profiles of the gears, they all match, so they're all interchangeable. But yeah, the first thought was definitely that gear puzzle, just because they all match up perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It's something super simple. You just got to put a couple bolts in a board and give them some gears. And maybe you say, how many revolutions when you spin this one does that last one do? And you get a code, something super simple.
That's cool.
But yeah, there's a lot you can do out of something different like this.
That's so cool. I'm a sucker for gears and metal like that. And this, like I said, the wheel and having the feedback on it, just the feel of it would be fantastic. To say nothing of the vibe of the safecracker when you get the little pen light in there, like you're going to drill a safe out.
I tried to do it the whole theme of breaking into the vault, and then my next thing, I got to try to convince a bank to let me put it outside, but I think that's going to be a hard task.
Where you find like a one of those converted banks. It's not like a coffee shop or something.
I already put one outside of one of those, so that was taken. But
yeah, could you imagine the police encounter like at night going there and they're like, "What are you doing, sir?"
Vault.
I'm going to break into the vault.
But I thought that would be a perfect like setting for this, but I got a tall order to get a bank manager to let me put this outside.
Yeah, you're right though. I like what Mike says. Like if it's like an old bank or like if it's like something's historical, like
even like just an old brick building or something. Yeah. It needs a fun atmosphere to be around too, to just add to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great build. I'm a little jealous that you're welding stuff together and working with metal. That's my next tool that I really want to get.
You mean say X tool? Is that X tool?
No, next tool.
I misheard you.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'll say is I love working with metal more than anything else, but like building the cache out of like sheet metal, just be careful with that and be cognizant, because like it's super easy to use. It's super easy it's easy to weld, but you can get very sharp edges on thin pieces of metal. So if you're ever like, this is great, it'll never be ruined if you put it as your cache container, but you just got to be cognizant of making sure it's perfect, because you don't want someone to walk away with a nice slice in their hand or something. But this is just a panel from the old washing machine that I didn't end up using, but
I love that too, that even the shell is upcycled from a washing machine. That's so cool.
Yeah,
just
I didn't want
a piece of sheet metal to get a new purpose out of.
Yeah, it needed to fit the theme of the bank vault. It needed to be metal.
Absolutely.
But I went through a couple different iterations. I mean, this was my first cache box, but like I said, I didn't love the thin thin edges. So I scrapped this. This was the first half. And I mean, this is a lot of sheet metal work welded up together, that it was going to be a two-sided container that would like hinge in the middle or hinge on the edges, and then it would open in the middle. But this new concept is a lot simpler, of just having the two halves come together. Also, little details, but like I put this big angle on it because it looks a lot nicer than just having a huge 12 by 12 metal box on in a tree line. So it's just, I don't know, me being picky and like super picky about things.
Oh, you did a good job on that. Now, what 3D printer are you using to print?
I wish I had the ones you guys have, the Bamboo Labs, but I just have a really cheap one. It's Flash Forge on the Adventure 5M. It's only you can only print one color at a time. So I got to print indents and then color them in by Sharpie.
I was just wondering what size mainly you had, because some of those colors are pretty big.
It prints like 8.5 inches, just under 8.5. It's like 220 millimeters or something like that. But so yeah, I printed the biggest gear as the max size I could do. So that's as big as I can go right there. And then all the little gears went farther down. But yeah, I started building this Sunday and finished probably like Thursday. My biggest thing, I mean, these prints are like 5-6 hour prints on my printer, so it takes a while. And then my first concept was to have the tractor gears going from smallest to biggest, and then the vault gears going from big to small, but it didn't have that same aesthetic appeal of, I mean, you could barely see the tractor gears behind like the brake mechanism I built. So then I swapped it all around mid-build and was like, I'm switching up the concept immediately, and had to reprint all the pieces.
Wow.
I know how that goes.
Yeah, Mike, I saw your printer back there moving around too.
Yes, I'm printing a bunch of little cash tubes for my friends at Cashcraft for their
I saw those online. Season. Those are amazing.
Oh wow!
And I had recently printed this for somebody else. My big bison.
Now you need to have the big bison extractor. Put that in. Yeah, maybe make it 2 people. It's so big.
Okay. Well, now I got my eye. They announced that new P2S, which is everything this does and cheaper. So I'm like, oh, do I need 2 printers over here, maybe, or 3? Because there's 2 over there already.
Well, you got to have a backup to your backup to your backup, right? I mean,
yeah,
exactly. One is none, 2 is 1. There you go.
Yeah. And Chad, you mentioned getting 2 people. You got teamwork caches on the mind, don't you?
Oh, I love teamwork caches.
Yeah, I know you do. You got some good ones.
That's great, you guys.
Making this a teamwork cache where like someone would have to hold the button while the other person tried to fish out of the top or something.
Well, that would be cool.
That way, or even just have someone having to crank it when someone else is above it with the fishing rod.
Yeah.
Well, and teamwork is defined as at least 2 people, right? So, I mean, Chad certainly has his awesome cache that takes 3. You know, it would be fun to figure out like what is the largest teamwork cache like out there, you know? Because I don't know.
Yeah,
I was going to use the front axle of my.
Sorry,
you can go, Chad.
I was going to say that the It Takes 3 is nice because I don't want to give it away, but the 3 of the buttons are tall enough to where it may end up taking more than 3 people. So it depends if you're vertically challenged or not.
Or you do one where it takes, X amount of people to sign the log, but X plus 1 to find the challenge cache that would come from finding the coordinates in the first stage.
Well, wasn't that part of the original teamwork caches when they were in 2 different countries and you had to work together to get a code or something like that?
That sounds familiar. That might be the case.
Yeah, they had some where it's like, yeah, you'd have to have like 2 caches like far away from each other. And And then get help on the other end. I haven't seen one of those in a long time now that you mention that.
Yeah, I think those were the original teamwork. When you talk about teamwork down at HQ, that's what they refer to versus one cache needing several people.
Yeah, and Guru Ryan Semmelweisen says yes, and they still have them. So thank you, Ryan, for clarifying on that one.
Yeah, well, all great ideas, guys. Amazing job. Next show, I'll bring mine in and show you mine that I have thrift store find too. It's not as cool as these ones, but I will show mine off there. And if anybody else wants to jump on, if you guys want to finish one of the ones you showed today as a concept, let us know.
I think I want to try and take my fan one to completion now that Andrew gave me the final piece of that puzzle.
Yeah, that'd be great. So, and again, anytime anybody's listening wants to come on, show us an idea or have an idea, and you want to maybe brainstorm with some people, you're more than welcome to come on. Shoot us an email at gadgettalk@gmail.com. And we would love to have you on. And we got some bright people here that listen to the show or on the show, as well as if you think about it on the lily pad chat. Mike has his own gadget page on there group, and so do I. And I'm not sure if Bell or Jason has one, but
you forgot to mention pizza fans
and pizza fans
on lily pad chat. Just
if you like to get a lot of alerts.
Nice. I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Yeah, pizza fans. Anyway, join any of these. I'm trying to look up the mics here. Mine is Gadget Caches, and I think yours is
I think mine's also Gadget Caches, but I threw my handle at the end there to differentiate.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But join both those groups on the Lulipad chat, and you can always throw ideas in there, as well as if you were one of the members, you probably saw some of Mike's stuff here leading up to the show tonight.
Yeah, you sneak preview right there in the Lulipad chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was trying to get a spoiler out of you too, and I gotta give you credit. You did not take my bait. You just used it as an opportunity for saying tune into Gadget Talk, which I appreciate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So while I was thrifting, I did find a book that you might like. I think I posted it in one of I forget which chat it's in, but there's a fun book I found. Let me see if I have the picture.
I think it was yours, the pizza one.
Handy.
Yeah,
the pizza
fans. Pizza fan. And the funny thing on that one, right? So people may think like, why did you create Pizza Fans? Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. It's when we had Jeremy Irish on Geocache Talk, right before Lulipad Chat was widely known. I wanted to do just a screen share and like show how to create a group. So I was like, okay, let's create a group. And Pizza Fans was the first thing that came to my mind, So we use that as a way to show people kind of like how Lulipad Chat worked. And we got some people in there early on. And I got to tell you guys, it provides me a lot of pizza inspiration to go through and look at those pictures. So, I greatly appreciate it.
That's great. I moved away from my favorite pizza place, so.
Oh, Chad. Have you found a new pizza place yet around you, or?
Not yet.
Okay.
I haven't had time.
You got to keep me posted when you do, my friend.
Yeah. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So next show, John, we're looking at November
18th.
Yeah. November 18th. Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's almost the end of the year already.
Yeah, tell me about it.
In the year.
Man. I'll show off one of mine, and then if anybody else wants to return or anybody listening wants to come on and show some of their stuff, send us an email. We'll see everybody next November, or in November on the 14th.
18th, November 18th.
Sorry, thanks. I even have the calendar in front of me.
Yeah,
I had to double check to make sure it doesn't interfere with the Kraken game.
Yeah. Oh, no worries. Your pizza levels are probably just a little bit low, So yeah, sounds good. Well, any other closing thoughts, Chad, that you want to have, or should we wrap up the show?
Yeah, that's it. thanks everybody for coming on. Great show, great ideas. And hopefully next month you guys will see a lot more stuff from me. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, sounds good. Well, hey, thanks everybody, and thanks Bell, Jason, and Mike. Those were awesome caches, and can't wait to find them all. And so cool because such incredibly unique finds that I've never seen anything like before. And that if I could give a favorite point without finding, I'd give them out, but that would mean that I had favorite points, which I don't have any because I've given mine all out. But I would find other caches, LPCs and guardrail caches to give you guys favorite points. Just saying. But yeah, sounds good. Have a good night, everybody, and take care.
Have a
All
good
right,
one.
good night, everybody.
Thanks, guys.